There's a quiet sound sabotaging your life. It doesn't need to scream. Sometimes it just whispers, "You've failed." Right before you submit a job application, right before you step on stage, right when you look in the mirror. Or it roars inside your head, "Idiot," every time you make a mistake. And you believe it. You're not alone. 92% of Americans hear that voice every single day. Even Harvard students, even Fortune 500 CEOs. But that voice isn't truth. It's something called imposter syndrome. Today, you're going to do what 92% never dare to try. Face that inner saboteur and beat it with 5 tools grounded in neuroscience and Carl Jung's analytical psychology. Where does that voice come from? It's not you, it's a survival program. You've probably heard it all before. I'm not good enough. I don't belong here. This idea is stupid. Don't say it. If these thoughts show up like unwanted guests in your mind, remember, you are not that voice. That's just an ancient alarm system inside your brain. The amygdala, the primal structure wired for fear and survival. Let's rewind tens of thousands of years. Our ancestors lived in a world full of threats. Wild predators, enemy tribes, natural disasters. Survival depended not on feeling happy, but on detecting danger, faster than joy could ever arrive. So the amygdala was programmed to constantly scan the environment, amplify every possible risk, and fire intense alarms, in the form of anxiety, self-doubt, and fear, to trigger the fight-or-flight response. But here's the problem. The world has changed. Your brain hasn't. The amygdala still operates with the same outdated filter. So now, a reminder email from your boss? The amygdala screams, "Danger! You're about to get fired." A slip-up during a meeting? It explodes. Disaster! They're laughing at you. You're stupid. A new opportunity or challenge? It panics. Don't do it. You're not good enough. They'll find out you're a fraud. This is known as negativity bias, an evolutionary legacy that makes your brain cling to the negative and ignore or downplay the positive. We're no longer running from saber-toothed tigers, but our amygdala still shouts as if we are. When we give a presentation, send a proposal, or even just speak up in a group. Carl Jung and the shadow, a deeper source of the voice. Renowned analytical psychologist Carl Jung went even deeper into the origins of this destructive voice. He called it the shadow. The shadow is the part of our psyche we've buried, emotions, beliefs, or memories that were too painful, shameful, or rejected by society when we were young. Imagine this, a child constantly scolded with, "Why are you so stupid?" every time they made a mistake. Grows up with an unspoken curse, "I'm not smart, I will always fail." That belief becomes a sharp whisper, returning every time their intellect is challenged. A child punished for expressing anger learns to swallow it. But emotions don't disappear. They become explosive outbursts or inward spirals of self-blame. The shadow doesn't disappear when repressed. It waits patiently and returns through disturbing dreams, repeating toxic relationship patterns, unnamed anxiety, and most powerfully, the inner voice that tears you down. But remember this, you are not weak. You are not broken. You're simply running on an outdated operating system, a blend of primal survival instincts and childhood wounds. And the miracle is, every program can be rewritten. Below are 5 science-backed tools to begin that transformation. 1. Rewire your questions from why to how. Change the question, change the future. When failure strikes, the brain often asks, "Why me? Why do I always mess up? Why is everything so hard?" These why questions dig deeper into helplessness. They focus on the past, on personal flaws, and often lead nowhere but shame. They create a sense that something is inherently wrong with you, something you can't fix. But what if you ask something different? Ask how instead. How can I grow from this? How can I improve next time? How can I take one step forward today? How directs the mind toward the future, toward solutions and actionable steps? This single shift rewires your brain from paralysis to power. It replaces victimhood with agency. 2. Be your own detective. Hunt for counter-evidence. When the destructive voice growls, "You're worthless. You're not good, smart, talented enough." Don't just accept it. Question it like a detective. What's the evidence that proves the opposite? That's when you introduce your secret weapon, your counter-evidence journal. Get a small notebook. Label it something bold, like "Proof I'm Enough" or "The Truth Files." Each night, write down 3 things you did well that day. They don't have to be extraordinary. I stayed calm in a tough conversation. I finished that report on time. I worked out even when I felt tired. Why it works. The brain is a learning machine. It believes what it sees repeatedly. If all you feed it is failure, it will believe you're a failure. But when you record and revisit even your smallest wins, you force your brain to build new neural pathways. Pathways that validate your competence, effort, and progress. Over time, the inner critic loses its ammunition because you've got receipts. 3. The future self letter, a message from the strongest version of you. Tap into the superpower of imagination, intentionally. Close your eyes, take a deep breath. Now visualize you 5 or 10 years from now. This version of you has made it through. They're grounded, confident, wise, and they're writing a letter to the you of today. Let it flow. You can actually write this out. Dear me, I know what you're feeling. I know the fear, the doubt, the tight grip of that voice whispering, "You're not good enough." I remember it. But let me tell you, every moment you're afraid right now, every time you shake before speaking, every rejection you fear, every mistake you dread, they are the very steps that shape you. The presentation you're anxious about, it's building your courage. The job application you're hesitating to send, it's teaching you persistence. The awkward silence after you speak your truth, it's forming your authenticity. You don't need to feel brave to be brave. You only need to act, despite the fear. I'm here in the future as proof. You do make it through. You are more than enough. Keep going. With love, your future self. Neuroscience shows that the brain can't clearly distinguish between real memory and vivid imagination. By visualizing this future self, successful, whole, peaceful, you begin to rewrite the fear circuits in the limbic brain, including the amygdala. You're planting a future memory, a seed of belief, and that belief is medicine against self-doubt. 4. Name the inner critic. Strip it of its power. The more vague your inner critic feels, the more power it has. It's like a ghost, shapeless, ungraspable. So here's the trick. Give it a name, a personality, a face. That sarcastic, judgmental voice, call it Sarcastic Sam. The always worrying pessimist, Doomsday Dave or Whiny Wendy. The ruthless perfectionist, Patricia the perfectionist. The chronic comparer, Compare Carl. Once it has a name, magic happens. You separate it from your identity. You can talk back. "Thanks for your input, Sam. I'm doing it anyway." "Nice try, Wendy. I've got this." You reclaim agency over your mind. Even Oprah Winfrey does this. She calls her inner critics the committee. And when they get too loud, she simply says, "Meeting adjourned." You are not your critic. You are the director of the mind, not the actor bound by the script. 5. Microactions. The soft punch that breaks fear's grip. Knowledge is powerful, but action rewires the brain. The problem? Fear often paralyzes us. The solution? Microactions, small deliberate movements in the opposite direction of fear. Afraid of public speaking? Say one clear sentence in today's meeting. Want to write a book? Start with 3 sentences each morning. Fear of rejection? Ask a trusted friend. What's one area I could improve in? New project overwhelming? Spend 5 minutes on the first step, nothing more. Why this works? Tiny wins build momentum. Every completed micro step gives you dopamine, motivation fuel. It's too small to fail. The risk is so minimal that your brain doesn't sound the alarm. You train through discomfort. You learn to act with fear, not after it's gone. You rewire the brain's alarm system. With each small win, the amygdala learns, hey, this isn't life-threatening, we're okay. Each micro-action is a vote for the life you want. You are the driver, not the passenger. Carl Jung once said, I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become. The moment you realize the inner critic is just an old program or a shadow from the past is the moment you reclaim choice. When sarcastic Sam speaks, take a breath and respond, I'm not your puppet. I'm the chooser, and I choose action. Psychologist Viktor Frankl, Holocaust survivor and author of Man's Search for Meaning, wrote, between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. These 5 tools are how you widen that space. The space between destructive thoughts and courageous action. Between ancient fear and conscious human choice. Reprogram your inner world. Start today. Don't let this remain just a video or a page of notes. Do something, right now. Pick one of the 5 tools. Which one resonated most? Which one can you begin today? Practice it immediately. Buy your counter-evidence journal. Name your inner saboteur. Write your future self letter. Shift one why to a how. Take one micro-action, even if your hands are shaking. Set a reminder. Post it on your mirror. Make it your phone wallpaper. The mind is a tool. I am the one who uses it. Remember, you don't have to silence the voice today. You just have to stop kneeling before it. Every time you step outside the comfort zone, even with a trembling voice, even with doubt in your chest, you are breaking links in the invisible chain that's held you too long. And then you'll see, it's not one giant leap, but small, sacred steps that build a free life. Not loud victories, but quiet, persistent self-trust. Start today. The saboteur has whispered long enough. Now it's time for your voice to rise, not to ask for permission, but to reclaim your right to live the life you were always meant to live.